Hi there, planner friends, and welcome to a new video where I will explain or kind of go over my 2018 Hobonichi lineup, because these are my 2019 stationery items. This will be my planner and this is my journal. Let's go through the journal first, just to go over that really quick. So I've been using a Hobonichi for, this is my second year, this will be my third year, and I use it basically every day as a journal. Just a record of what happened or what I was thinking that day, or just a collection for ephemera and that sort of thing. It's not a planner at all for me. There have been times where I tried, maybe for like a day or two, to try and use it as a planner, because the pages are, that's what they're intended for. Because you have the time, you can make this into a whole 24-hour period if you wanted to, write what you ate, you have the moon phases, it's all very lovely. But I don't use it like that, I use it as a journal. So this is this year's for me. It is, again, a chunky beast. And this cover that I've been using, I've had for a year and a half, and I've been using it consistently for that period. And it's by Speckled Fawns. I bought this when they were still on Etsy. It wasn't that expensive actually, but I think it was super limited edition because they only had this specific leather in certain sizes. And it is a very treasured possession. And it has these two card pockets and a secretarial pocket. There was a pen loop, but I cut that out because it was just too bulky. But this is what I use it for. So my Hobonichi, this is my second year where I just haven't figured out the calendars. I don't know what to use it for. Sometimes I try my moods, sometimes I try my health. Basically, it didn't really click until September. In September, I started writing what was awesome about that day, or like stuff I loved in September, and that really worked. However, I fell off the bandwagon, or not a bandwagon because I'm the only member, so it's more like a band scooter, and I just didn't have the time to write it down. So that is something I do want to bring back in 2019. We are like mid-November and I'm still not with it. So there's that. I started out this thing about what I wanted to focus on in 2018, and then I started kind of pre-emping my month, like trying to affirm or just boost myself, I guess. And this was when I was using rings, so I was taking a cue from the Happy Planner, and I was marking down what I was planning, watching, cooking, eating, drinking, going, loving, dreaming, feeling, listening, reading, and I think I need to pick this up again because I really liked it. I would just punch it into my ring planner, and then I would fill it out as the month went on. Now there are days where I do journal in it. There are also days where I don't have the time or I don't feel like it, and when that happens I tend to fill in the spreads with like drawings or something, and I'll block out the actual dates. And this was just recent pen acquisitions, which I did more so to tell myself that I didn't need more pens rather than to document how amazing they are. Although there are some pretty amazing pens in here. This one broke on me actually. This Jetstream 4+1. This was an unexpectedly awesome, the Pilot Metropolitan, which I've heard is going up to like $20-something. So if you want a less than $20 fountain pen, pick one up while you still can. So then lots more When things get kind of busy, sometimes I just resort to that. Sometimes things are a little crazy hectic and I like tip in pages. That was before I started actually carrying one of those Hobonichi books, because you can get accessory Hobonichi notebooks in the 3 sizes that their notebooks come in. So an A6 size, which is slightly smaller, so you can tip it into your A6 planner like this. This is a page from one of those notebooks. See, I can get crazy with it. But then there are some days where I'm just documenting washi. I try not to let any of these pages go to waste as much as I can. This day I went to the fair. Awesome. But mostly, when times get crazy or busy, I rely on a lot of washi, or stickers. And I change it up by using fountain pens, and I use different fountain pen inks. Like this one is the Lamy Vibrant Pink, which has like a metallic cast to it, and it's beautiful. And this is one of my favorite inks, and that's a I'll post it down here. It's a Sailor ink, and it's supposed to be like a dupe for the Lamy Petrol ink, so it's like a black blue or black green. So that's what I do. I've also been keeping a list of what I've been obsessing over, because I found that I do tend to obsess over things and dwell on them a little bit. So that's something that hopefully I won't have to carry into 2019, but if I do, it's got the notes for it. So that's what I use it for. And you can tell the difference. It starts off so thin, and then it just bulks up with all the stuff you use. Now, if I were more of a sketch sort of person, like coloring with colored pencils and that sort of thing, it probably wouldn't be so much of an issue, because the paper is beautiful and it takes so much media so well. I just like washi, so that's what I use that for. Now the 2019 version that I purchased, I got from the Hobonichi website. So it came with the 2019 Jetstream pen you've seen all over the place. And there have been periods this year where this is all I use for school and for my planner, because I am a huge proponent of Jetstream ink. I really love that stuff. It is my go-to. These are nice pens, but I have better ones. So I will probably be using the better version in my planner. And by better, I just mean that I like the 4+ ones, so it has like a green ink as well, and then a pencil, and then an eraser. And it's not that much thicker than this. But still, this is beautiful, and I will find a use for it. It also came with the Hobonichi Not So Scary Bear, which is just a paperweight, and it's cute, and I love bears, so super excited. But when I bought it, I thought I would just buy the book itself and no cover, but I saw this cover on cover, and it was just beautiful and perfect, and I really wanted it as well. And I just have this wrapped around my 2016 cover, which was this beautiful golden mustardy yellow and like a seafoam green. And this year I bought the Stife edition. I would have loved to buy the Stife like fluffy cover, because especially this year the like blondish color is just so appealing to me for some reason. But that is ridiculously expensive. It's like $100, I think, or something, just for a fluffy, impractical cover that I would have to baby and probably like brush, because I have a cat and I have a dog, and they're both very fluffy themselves, so all this fluff is just swimming in the air at any given time. So yeah, it would not have been a smart choice. I don't know if I'll necessarily get the Steiff edition again. As far as I can tell, there's nothing really to set it apart except this little gold imprint. And on the back it says Steiff, in the back cover, like where they have the, I thought it did. Maybe it doesn't. Oh yeah, it does, so Steiff. The only other difference that I can tell so far is that in the previous years, because I always get the English version, the font has been similar to this, which is sans serif. So no little fiddly bits at the ends of the fonts. But then this now is serifed, and it looks so weird in comparison. But that's the only other difference I can find. Oh, it's so skinny. It won't be like that for long, which kind of freaks me out because I didn't consider that when I settled on my 2019 planner, which we should probably talk about right now, otherwise this video is going to get way too long. So by the time you watch this, it's probably almost that magical Monday, or it is that Monday that the Hobonichi Weeks planner starts. And here I have it in a beautiful Foxy Fix perfect fit cover. It's exactly like the perfect fit cover I had for my A5. Well, I still have that one. This is the pen sleeve that I bought at the time that I got that A5 cover, and I haven't really used it. But ideally, if we're talking 2019 here, if we're talking about the instruments that I will use in this planner, it would be my 4+1, which is this Uniball. No, that's not right. Well, if you Google Pure Malt Jetstream, this will come up. I believe Tokyo Pen Shop still carries it in this colorway, and then there's like a silver and a wood barrel. Now, you have to be a little careful with this. I mean, it's got heft to it. It's really nice. I've had it for over a year, and it's basically an everyday carry for me. But at one point I dropped it, and then I think I over tightened it because this bottom portion is metal. So it gives it a nice heft and weight to it. The wood part is beautiful, and it just develops with your oils and all that stuff over time. But this part, the body, is plastic. So I originally bought mine, I believe, through Tokyo Pen Shop, but it broke because I had like just this tiny fissure size crack in the plastic body. I tried tightening it with some tightly wound washi tape to try and seal that hole, or seal that hairline fracture, but it would only work for a certain amount of time, and if I had to replace the ink like it looks like I need to do here soon, it would fail all over again, and you could really tell when it snaps because it has a good snapping mechanism, because this part is metal as well. But you know, that was like 9 months ago, and it hasn't happened since, and I'm pretty careful with my pens. Just avoid super over tightening and dropping it, I guess. You know, like any pen that you like. So I've decided, after a series of pen tests in the Hobonichi Weeks, that I'm just going to stick with Jetstream. I'm not going to try to branch out, at least not for now, because I already have a planner system that's working for 2018. And if we go to this coming week, so the 26th. I didn't want to screw around with what I already have been using in my bullet journal because I only have like 3 more weeks of school to go, and I feel like for my sanity's sake I need to keep it consistent. But come 2019, I am so tempted to use a fountain pen as my everyday planning pen. So this is a page I did some pen swatches on. I just refilled this one. It's the Sailor Shikiori. It's the Seaweed Indigo ink is what this is. And it's beautiful and it's lovely, and I have it in this TWSBI Extra Fine Vacuum Mini Vac, which is my favorite fountain pen I think of all time. And I would love to use this as my everyday pen, I think. But the problem is, right now, I'm depending very heavily on stencils. And if I draw with a stencil with a fountain pen, it does this, where it kind of like shifts. Because the ink doesn't dry immediately. So that's the only thing that's preventing me from kind of making a commitment in that way. But as you can see, it takes the ink really well. I tried messing around with some highlighters just to see what would happen. Of course, it ran. This is just the flip side. This is just some colored pencil swatches. So, Jetstream Above and Beyond outperformed all of these when it came to a highlighter application. Not that I will 100% use highlighters all the time, but the one place I do is in my monthlies. So for right now, Jetstream is the winner. But that got a little off track, so let me show you my current super simple basic setup. So this cover is beautiful and awesome, and I'm not scared about like scuffing it up or anything like that, which I found with my A5 version. It was pretty much the perfect companion. This one is even more perfect because it's so slim and portable. Today for work, I brought both this and my remaining pocket planner. I had settled on finishing out the school year in this, but I was trying to plan out for this week, taking my cue from Amber Plans. If you follow her on Instagram, which I highly recommend, she does beautiful like galaxy themed awesome beautiful pages in her happy planner, and I just really enjoy her feed. But when I was doing this, I really have like no pages left at all, so I can't finish out the month in here. I can't even finish out the school week in here. But for this week, I'll keep taking it with me because it has some notes on an essay that I'm currently trying to suss out, so there's that. But yeah, I had it with me today. I have the cover on, which is probably a little too snug to be in here if I'm being quite honest, but again, I really loved this theme that they had this year for Hobonichi. I think it's like in the fields or something like that. And of course, I got the yellow version of the Hobonichi Weeks, but it's the Hobonichi Weeks Mega. And remember how I said I was kind of freaked out about the bulk of my Hobonichi Techo? This is why, because this has a ton of pages in it. It has over 200 notes pages, and I did the math and it would be like, if you divided it evenly between the 12 months of the year, it would be about 17.5 pages that you could use every month. That's substantial. And because I still love using washi, I'm just a little concerned with how that's going to go down, but I figure this bulked up considerably as well. My A5 that I used in the most of 2018 bulked up, and I just dealt with it, so I'll get over it. In this pocket, it's just placeholders. I got this Hobonichi stencil as well, although I do not actually see a use just yet with it. So that's my bad, but I'm going to live with it. This is the pocket that you're supposed to put in like the back cover of the Hobonichi Weeks, and I don't have a need for it just yet because my back cover is firmly in place over here. On the inside, I was trying to brainstorm like what I could do to prep for 2019, and this was before I realized I had no more room in my bullet journal. So when I brought it to work today, what I did was fill out the important / recognized US holidays, like ones that would affect work schedules, and I'm just doing that with my Jetstream pen because it's super opaque and it's something that I can highlight. That's why all of these, like my little work times and everything, are still in Jetstream ink because I color code it. One job is green, one job is blue. And I just added some stickers. Again, those washi stickers that you saw. I drew this out and I'm super proud of it. And then I colored it and it looks not so great, but that's okay. I was just trying different media in the Hobonichi Weeks. So this is a highlighter. It's not actually the mild liner, it's a different one. But it's just as nice. I just didn't have my mild liner on me. So Martin Luther King Jr. Day, I wrote down Lunar New Year because that is definitely something my husband and I celebrate. Valentine's Day, President's Day, Groundhog Day, and just birthdays, first day of spring, Easter, and these were all the stickers I had on hand with me. So yeah, and I'm using one of these bookmarks in order to mark my monthly, whatever monthly I happen to be on. And then we come to the first week of the Hobonichi, and since they like to start their planners kind of like on a full week, they give you the partial as well, if it includes the other, the beginning. So again, I'm keeping it with my standard sort of setup, which is color coding my classes using the Zebra Sarasa Shine. The same pen I've been using for, oh goodness now, all quarter. I'm getting a little sad though, because I don't know if you can notice, I certainly notice it like stares at me and mocks me from afar, but it's starting to chip, which is very weird because I keep it all by itself in its own like pen sheath organizer, so it doesn't come into contact with anything. It has its own protective little slot, and this is still happening. It's the only one of my pens that has done this, and it's kind of disappointing because I really liked this. But anyways, so I've been using that. The dry down time is fine. I don't really notice an issue. And then I have my assignments list here, and I really hope it ends there, but if it doesn't, I can always move on. Again, channeling my Amber Plans sort of vibes. Just because I had these stickers and I thought it would be cute. So yeah, that is my first week spread. It's not anything too complicated, only because I don't know how I'm going to react yet. And I did already put my index sticker for the month. I have these Midori index stickers. Oh, I bought these from Cute Things from Japan, although Tokyo Pen Shop has them as well. And there are two different kinds. They're like this colored set that is numbered 1 through 12, and you get 24, so 2 sheets. And then there is this like patterned colored set. But then they also have the numbers in gold, and they have the patterns in gold as well. And I just went for color because I'd prefer that to gold, I guess. Although gold would totally match with my clashy cover here. But that's okay. I'm using what I have. So I pretty much use up the first sheet, except for 12 and 1 for some reason. Oh, because I got them late in the year. But I really like them because they're so low profile, they don't stick out a whole bunch. Even with the fact that this cover is probably not made for you to put your cover on, it still fits, and it's not going to stick out and be weird. So I did that to the first full week of December. Now, the reason I got the Hobonichi weeks in the first place is because I discovered through planning trial and error this year that I just want one single bound book. I really loved my bullet journal that I kept for as long as the pages held out nearly all year. I think I had to switch over in August to my pocket-sized bullet journal. I really loved it, but with all of the things that I was doing, all the things I wanted to account for, all the lists and collections and monthly information, I realized that no one single bullet journal is going to be able to hold that much. And there were some disadvantages to it as well. Like, I would have to make a spread every single frickin' week, which, yeah, there are days when you are super feeling the stickers and the washi, and it's just like this effortless flow of artistic juices that you have just expressed all over your page, which sounds disgusting, but you know, it's beautiful. But there are other weeks, like I'm guessing this week, my finals week, where I just will want something static and there that I can just pour my frustrations out on, and just have the skeleton there. It's kind of why I liked the Traveler's Notebook inserts, the same horizontal with a grid on one side, but again that runs into the issue where it didn't have space for monthlies, and that I just couldn't do 2 books. So once I identified that, I kind of waffled between the regular, which has, I think someone said, 5 note pages per month if you break it down like that. But I was concerned that wasn't enough. Well, today I started messing around with it just to do like what I would need to do for my monthly, just by my old system, like what I've been doing in my bullet journal for the past few months and what's worked for me. And I probably could have gotten away with a Hobonichi weeks, just standard size. You do have like 211 pages of just pure blank note page. I can't speak, I suppose. It's been a long day. You get one little itty-bitty index, which wasn't going to fly for me, so I gave myself a complete spread, even though I probably just needed this, because the grid is slightly smaller than like a grid on a Leuchtturm or something like that. So this is my December monthly stuff, which, to be honest, would take, let's just compare. If we look at my November, which again, still using those low profile awesome index stickers, my monthly, just like the sleep tracker, my health stuff, and notes, that takes 4 pages. Here, it takes half that because the pages are so awesome. And again, I'm not committed to this setup. This is just me trying to get something on the page for this upcoming month, but I like it. I tested out my current like marcation for like the hours I sleep and that sort of thing. It still kind of fits with just a little bit of overlap, but that's fine with me. I also considered toying or like extending this out a little bit by half an hour, so doing alternating squares, but there wasn't enough room. There might be if I had taken off the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday column, but this is just an experiment. So this is December, and I am going to put an index sticker for each monthly section where I begin. And I feel like this is fine because I don't need to prep this super ahead of time. Like a couple of days ahead of time every month will be fine for me because I have a deposit for all my monthly, super important monthly information or the week to week. It's already pre-dated, so I don't need to rely so heavily on like my note page or something like that, where that was my only depository for future planning because I don't do the Writer Carol approved future log at the beginning, which is super practical, but I never referred back to it, so it was just a waste of space for me. So I'll do a checkbook register here. I'll probably give myself 2 pages actually, just in case. And then the rest might just be note pages for the rest of December, just to get me through the month. So I know I need to start considering Christmas gifts. I've purchased like 2 already. One for my husband, one for my brother's boyfriend, and that's it. So I really need to brainstorm on here. Probably just like a to-do of what I'm going to do this month for Christmas. Maybe even a page of like the media I want to consume over my much needed 2-week break. And then when it comes to 2019, I will most likely do a 2019 beginning page like I've been doing in my bullet journal. Like this one, which isn't super pretty. Yeah, not super pretty, but it gets the job done. So I'll probably use that, and then I'll start all over again with, okay, so I have the idea. I think I'm going to do that 2019 title page. And then after that, instead of going straight into the monthly, I'm going to write down the collections that I care about, primarily the books I read in 2019, or the books that I will be reading, because I really loved that spread in my bullet journal, but it's in my A5 bullet journal, and it's been kind of a pain in the butt to go back and refer to the notes that I took in my little baby A6 bullet journal, and then write down the title and the author and everything and color it in on my A5. So I think if it's right up in the front, then I don't know, it makes more sense in my mind than if it were at the end. And then I'll do the monthlies, and we'll play it up with that sort of format. But I've got so much page space, and I like the idea of using these index stickers to just kind of sequester a month within itself. So if I know that I took class, like super important class notes or something in January, I'll be able to quickly flip back to it and refer back to it when I need to. I also got the pencil board, and I think I'm not going to use it as a bookmark because it's a little, it just slips in, but then it kind of falls out. I don't like it as much as I like the ribbons or the index stickers, but it is good for getting a firm, stable surface when you're trying to draw lines. So yeah, that's what I have so far. That is my plan. Monday is just 2 days away, and I will begin carrying this with me to school and work, but I will have to use it in conjunction with this because this still has some valuable notes that I've made on a project, or two projects and an essay that I'm working on, because we're almost near the end, folks. I hope your 2018 has been reasonably okay. I think that's all we can hope for, and just appreciate the little joys that come along with it. I know I'm super thankful, since, Thanksgiving was a few days ago, for my husband and my lovely pup and my lovely cat and just all the people I care about. And I don't know why that came out right now, but I'm also thankful for just people who plan and who take the time to write down things and to use their handwriting and share it with me on Instagram or something like that. So thank you for watching. Thank you for planning. Thank you for just being around and being you, because you are awesome. Also, whoa, look at that. I don't think I remember the other one being so bulky, but it's got some heft on the downswing too. But that is what I'm going for right now. I'll give you updates definitely on Instagram with how this goes throughout the week. Who knows, I could be like tearing pages out and just completely freaking out, because that's the sort of place I'm in right now if this doesn't work. But no, I feel happy with this choice. It is a commitment, though. It's been a while since I've been in a dated planner, but I have high hopes for how this will turn out. So yeah, thank you again. Sorry this was another long one. It might be a little bit before you hear from me again. It should be mid-December, I think, when I'll have time again to record a video. But you can always follow me on Instagram and keep up with all the papery things that I'm doing. So yeah, have a wonderful day.